Okay. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Good evening, my name is Jack Dearborn. This is June 6, 2023. Public hearing for the zoning board of adjustment for the town of Weare, 7:30 PM. This evening we have two cases. We have case 10-2023, Francis F. Bolton Jr., revocable trust, Frank Bolton, trustee. It's 31 Cotting Mill Road, tax map 203 dash, tax map is 203, lot is 098-002, rural agricultural zone. Article 18 is regarding a setback. And the second case is number 11-2023. DJ Nelson's Family Revocable Trust, David Nelson, co-trustee, applicant owner, Emerson Turnpike Private Way, excuse me, tax map 412-lot 114, rural agricultural zone, Article 18, Section 18.2.1, and Article 17, Section 17.1.1. The applicant is requesting permission to build a new residential home on a parcel that fronts on a private way. Okay, before I start, let me ask the board to introduce themselves. Mark?
Mark Moretti, member.
Bobby Joe Plamondon, member.
Michael Meyer, member.
Malcolm Wright, member.
Thank you. Let me just go over some of the ground rules. The way this works is this is a land court. You consider it the lowest level in the land because this is where it starts for land use. We are here to provide one of four things tonight. They happen to be variants of both. A variance is a relaxation of the zoning for a particular interest. The interest is for the lot itself, not the individual who owns it, because once a variance is approved, you have 2 years to act on it. If you don't, you have to get extensions, request extensions every year thereafter. If it expires, it expires. So, but from a variance perspective, how we process it, we'll do every case individually and complete. And what I mean by complete is it'd be the yes with exception, no for reasons, or if we don't have enough information to continue to this evening, we will ask for a continuance for the board and give us or the applicant more time to go off and better make their case. Or we have issues that we don't understand that the town needs to help with, we will continue it. Has to be continued for a date certain in the future. Typically, it's the next month, and we will say the actual date and time. For each case, what we will do, I will ask for a motion to accept the application. Now, what's the purpose of that? That's so we believe that we have enough information to go forwards and hear the case. We don't want to get halfway through the case and find out we have got the wrong information. So, ask people to overtly, I will ask for a motion, then get a second hopefully, then I will ask for discussion. Once we're done with the discussion, I will ask for votes, and we will vote on that. You need to have 3 yeses to go forwards. Out of tonight, there's 5 people on the board. Once that's been done, and we've got the necessary votes to go forwards, I will ask the applicant to please come forwards. Then I'll ask the board if they have any questions before the applicant starts in their discussion. Once we've gone through that and satisfied that, I will ask the applicant to please go forwards, especially on the variance. There's 5 points of hardship that have to be discussed. So I ask them to read the bolded question 1 with answer that is supplied, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the pieces. And then the board had any questions during that period, they're welcome to bring them up and request any more information from the applicant. Once we're done with that, all 5 points of hardship have been presented, I will ask the applicant to be seated. At that point, I will ask for approving abutters who wish to speak. The abutters, by state law, defines what they are, so many feet from a property or a abutting, physical abutting. So, once we've heard all the people that wish to speak as a approving abutter, then I will ask disapproving abutters that wish to speak. Then I'll ask for other boards, public at large. Once that's done, everybody's had one shot at it. Then I'll ask the applicant if they wish to get up and speak again to rebut anything, amplify something they may have forgot. Once that's done, I will go and ask for approving abutters again, wish to speak the second time if they wish to, disapproving abutters, public at large, other boards. Everybody gets 2 shots at it, okay? So once that's done, the board has no further questions, I will shut down the public meeting. This is the point where no more public input can be had. Then I'll ask for a motion to accept prong 1, which is 5 prongs. That's what they call them, prongs. And then we will take up and motion to accept prong 1. Everything's made in the positive. So yes means yes, no means no. So we don't have to do reverse logic for votes. So at that point, I ask for a motion. Should I get one? We will go for a second. Should I get that? Ask for discussion. Typically with variances, we will, if we put conditions on the variance, we'll put it on at the first time. It carries through the whole thing. Once we get through with that, I'll move on, take the vote. We have 3 yeses. We'll move on. And we'll take number 2, subsequently 3, 4, 5. You need 3 yeses for each one of the 5 points of hardship. It doesn't have to be the same 3 people voting yes, but you need to have 3 people on each one. It could be separate people. If not, it's done. It fails. And the problem with a variance is, if it fails, you can't come back again. You could request a rehearing from the board. There's a process you go through. And then should we choose to take up the rehearing request, and the operative term if we choose to, if we feel there's information that wasn't reasonably expected to be brought at the first meeting, we will do it. And we will narrowly define how broad it can be, not the entire case. If we feel there's not substantial or new or whatever, we can turn it down. At that point, you have an appeal to the Supreme Court. That's the way, that's the process. I will say that you can come back if it's substantially different. In other words, the state laws basically make it so that you can't have a revolving door asking and asking and asking for pretty much the same thing over again. They basically limit that. One shot, you come before the board. If you come in with something substantially different, and we believe it is, we will consider that, and we'll take appropriate vote at that point. So, with that, we have 2 cases. Naomi, if I ask people to speak up, when you do come up and speak, please give your full name and your address. Naomi needs to have this for minutes. She is the one that's responsible for generating the minutes, and if I see her hands waving or something, I'll stop and figure out what we need to do. Maybe she didn't hear something, or maybe we weren't clear on something. So, that said, first case, 10-2023, Frank F. Bolton, Jr. You present? Come on down, Frank. Okay, you got an application? Let's see here. Check it out. Frank has a application filled out, 5 points of hardship filled out. and a deed, and a butters. And a deed. Okay.
Do we have a signed copy
Oh,
anywhere?
no, you have a signed copy? If not, we'll have Frank sign it right now. You have one you want Frank to sign?
Sign now.
Good, thank you. Motion to accept application 10-2023?
Move to accept 10-2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Only thing I have, should we grant the variance? There's a specific amount of setback you need to comply to, if not, you're in violation of the zoning. So, when we word a variance, should we grant it? We say something to the effect of no closer than X feet, X point, X feet, whatever you want to have. We don't know how close you want to be to the boundary with this, Frank. And we really need to have that, and the reason is because this goes with your property. When you ever get done with this property, and it gets sold, and the bank comes out and says, oh, I see you got a variance, but how far is the variance from the boundary? Because it looks non-compliant. So, we'd like to get this straightened out. So, what I'd like to do is, you need to tell us how close to your boundary, your little shed dormer, whatever it is, you want to have, how many feet. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to put you off till next month.
I could tell you, because I know what it is.
Oh, you willing to accept it? Okay.
Sure,
In other words, if we do give you that, and it winds up being something different, somebody's gonna have a problem.
Well, as long as it was less would be fine, right?
Meaning,
No closer
Can't be
than.
closer.
right. Depends what you mean by less.
So further away is fine.
Less
Can't be closer.
restrictive. What is it, Frank?
It's 25 foot from the existing building to the next boundary. And I want a 16-foot overhang, so it's 9 foot from the next boundary.
Frank, come up here just for a second. Make sure we're pointing to the right thing. As this thing says proposed, do you want us to ignore proposed?
Where is the actual building right now?
The green?
The green is, I've got pictures with that.
No, just give us the data. So ignore the proposed garage.
Well, let me tell you about that.
We don't need,
Okay.
it's not there now, and you don't want it?
No.
Thank you. So this green here is what you want.
No, that's what, I want the pencils.
You got that now, and you want this pencil. So you're saying it's, what are the
9
two
feet.
numbers?
9 feet. I'm 9 feet from this boundary.
So you want to be no, and that includes the overhang?
That includes, no, the overhang is 16, and there's 9, it's 25 feet.
Oh,
from this
I'm
building
sorry.
to here.
Yeah, you're probably right, because this is where the edge of the roof is. 9 feet to the edge of the roof,
Right,
edge of the roof,
right, 9 foot.
not to the, just want to make sure. Some people get confused with the piers are. You gonna put this on piers, this little addition?
I haven't talked to the code enforcement officer, and I'm not sure, I know what I want to do, but I have to,
Okay,
I don't have a plan,
if you say 9 feet,
right,
then the edge of that roof can't go any further than 9 feet, no matter where the footing's at.
Right.
You good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Everybody clear with that?
Yep.
Just to make sure. All right. Any other questions of Frank before we go any further? Being none? Frank, like, you got a copy of this?
I do.
Will you see number 1?
We take a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, we got
Oh,
too ahead,
sorry.
far ahead of ourselves.
That's right.
All those in favor of approving the application? Mark?
Aye.
Aye.
Jack, aye?
Aye.
Mike? No.
Aye.
Always good to get that out of the way. Okay, with that, Frank, you see the number 1, the bolded question, the bolded part? The variance will not be contrary to the public interest?
Well. Pardon?
A few more pages.
Oh,
That's the application, people,
oh,
I think you got it right there.
all right.
Say number 9 in the long form.
Turn it around.
Go with that.
Yes, you see the bolded question, number 1?
I do.
Bold type? Just read the bold type
Okay.
and your answer, please.
The variance will not be contrary to the public interest because the proposed use must not conflict with the purpose of the ordinance, and that it must not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, threaten public health, society, safety, or welfare, or otherwise injure public rights.
You have the answer.
And you want me to read my,
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason for this is, people don't have what's in front of us here. Yourself and the board. People out here may be in a better, they wish to know, so
okay, well, I responded.
please.
The proposed use will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, threaten public health, safety, or welfare, or otherwise injure public rights. The proposed overhang is not visible to the public.
Okay, number 2?
Please describe how the spirit of the ordinance is observed because proposed use must not conflict with the general purpose of the ordinance and must not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, threaten public health, safety, or welfare, or otherwise injure public rights. The spirit of the ordinance is observed as the proposed overhang is not visible to the general public nor any residential properties other than my own.
Okay, number 3, Frank?
Please describe how substantial justice is done, because the benefits to the applicant must not be outweighed by harm to the general public. Substantial justice is done as there is no harm to the general public as the proposed overhang is not visible to the general public. Number 4, please describe how the values of surrounding properties are not diminished. The proposed overhang will not impact the values of any surrounding properties as it is only visible from my property.
Okay,
Little, pardon?
yeah, number 5, just the bolded part.
Oh, okay, literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in an unnecessary hardship. The special condition that exists is I would like to attach the overhang to an existing building. The proposed overhang is being located in the best location.
You do I, please. It's on the next page at the top.
Yeah, you want me to read I?
Just do I, yeah, read it through there, please.
Okay. Owing to the special conditions identified above, please indicate how no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance and the specific application of that provision to the property. The general public will not be aware that the proposed overhang exists. The best interest of the general public remains intact.
The next one, I, owing to the special conditions of the above.
Now, owing to the special conditions identified above, please indicate how the proposed use is a reasonable one. Explain how the special conditions of the property and the zoning restriction interferes with the reasonable use of the property. My reply, the topography of lot 203-98-2 would make construction of any building difficult in a different location. The proposed overhang in the setback works well and has no negative impact on my adjacent lot, 203-98-3.
Thank you. Frank, you want no closer than 9 feet, is that what you want?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I would like to just repeat that I do own the adjacent property.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Let me ask you couple of questions, just for my own clarity. I'm
Sure.
kind of lightly confused. These are two lots, and they're both pre-existing, because I got this plan here, and it says proposed garage, but it's already there.
No,
No.
proposed garage, I hired Morton Buildings to
Yeah.
construct the building. And I had this survey done, and I wanted to put it where it says proposed garage, see detail,
Yeah.
but Morton had to have me shut off the electricity. There was a telephone pole about 6 or 8 feet from the proposed building. They wanted to shut the electricity off, which is the pumps for the school bus company. So we couldn't put the building there. I mean, I can't do that. So I just rotated the building. The green is an existing building.
Okay, now I get you now, because this one, this black outline, that's not there.
No.
I can ignore that, basically you turned it around
Right.
and repositioned it, I see.
The little
And what's
pencil
colored
there-
in gray is basically what's encroaching on the setback.
That's
Yep.
that's correct.
Okay,
But it's not
Thank
there
you.
yet. Or
Not there
it's,
yet.
it's not there
It
yet.
doesn't exist yet. I'm trying to get permission to.
For the overhang, but the building is there.
Do you want the picture at this point?
You're welcome to.
can we
Absolutely.
already have a,
Well, I have some pictures.
Can we have that for the file? You need them back?
No, you can have them.
Okay.
The proposed overhang is going on that building as you see it. Here's another shot, it's going on the same building, and this is kind of more inclusive of the whole building.
So it's on this side of the building.
Fuel tank side, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
well, that's
tank.
another thing that I was gonna ask you, because I'm a little confused with you calling this an overhang, then it's a building, and it's a garage, it's a little confusing for me. It's
Like a lean-to.
basically a building that you need a variance for.
The building exists.
It
This-
does
This
exist.
building exists.
Okay.
That's an actual picture of it. The overhang is gonna be attached to the.
Okay, you're adding to,
Yeah, I want to add to it.
so
Coming
the
off.
building that exists is in the green?
Yes,
on-
that's correct.
Okay,
That is the building.
and that's already,
That exists.
So the variance is just for the overhang to be
Malcolm,
installed.
it's like putting a roof out here.
oh, I understand that, but I'm looking at the green here, and it looks to me like your building already encroaches upon the setback.
No,
That corner?
no, sir, it doesn't.
That line
okay,
is the,
good.
that's the footage.
Again, I'm not, I'm just trying to get a better feel for what's going on here. I understand what an overhang is, and that's the garage. I'm getting kind of a mixed thing here.
He's gonna put a lean-to on the side of this garage.
Basically, it's like a little carport.
Yep.
Little extension on the roof.
Exactly.
I get that. That already exists. Okay, that's cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Frank, you could have a seat.
Sure, thank you.
Approving of butters who wish to speak regarding this application. Disapproving of butters wish to speak. Public at large, other boards. I think we're done. Frank, you wish to speak again? Say anything? There's no rebuttal required.
No, I'm,
Okay, I'll just go one more time. Approving of butters, disapproving of butters, public at large, other boards. Being none. I will accept a motion for prong one.
Move to accept prong one?
I'll second.
Discussion, condition we like to place on this, that the roof extends no further than 9 feet to the boundary.
No closer than
No,
9
close to
feet.
that, sorry. Backwards. Could I have a vote? Mark?
Aye.
Bobby?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Mike?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Thank you. Wrong two?
Prong two?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? This one here, I just make sure you're answering the right question.
Spirit of the ordinance.
Yeah, the whole point about spirit will not be contrary to public interest. I just don't think this is an issue because it's essentially on the back side, or not on the street side of the property. And I just don't think the neighbor is gonna have a problem with it, who is Frank, but it could be in the future, somebody else, but I really don't see an issue with this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. It's fairly practical.
Okay? Two?
Move to accept prong two.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vote, yeah.
We already
We
did
did?
two.
Two?
We gotta vote on
We
it.
didn't vote on it.
Aye.
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 Mike?
Aye.
Malcolm?
Move to accept prong 3.
Second that.
You have a second?
We're seconding it, yes.
Regarding the substantial justice to be done, there's a significant substantial justice to the applicant and very little injustice that there would be to the town. Every time we relax a variance, every time we relax a setback or something, it's a weakening of the zoning. But in this case, I think substantial justice is done to the applicant.
Agreed.
Yep.
Mark?
Aye.
Bobby?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Mike?
Aye.
Malcolm?
Aye. Move to accept prong four.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I don't think any surrounding properties is an issue here.
Yeah, I agree. It's his property anyways, so.
Okay? In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bobby? Aye. Jack, aye. Mike?
Aye.
Malcolm?
Aye.
And 5 is an entirety?
Move to accept prong 5 in its entirety.
Second.
Thank you. Regarding this, little enforcement, this is a reasonable use. I think special conditions here just happens to be where the house was placed, the building exists, and now he'd like to put on a lean-to effectively. As far as it being a reasonable use, I think this is a reasonable use because it is allowed in the zone, unfortunately, so it isn't like it's a requesting something that's not allowed. This is allowed, and the only problem is the setback is encroached. Any other questions?
Nope.
No.
Mark?
Agreed.
Aye.
Bobby?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Mike?
Aye.
And Malcolm?
Aye.
We're all set.
You get your building permit now.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. This is case 11-2023. It's the DJ Nelson Family Revocable Trust. And 5 points of hardship and the application are filled out. Signed, warranty deed. There is a picture of the property highlighted, the tax map. There is Jacques Belanger put together a land survey PLLC, put together a list of abutters. There is a survey by G.E. Belanger Land Surveying, and it's signed, stamped, I should say. And the date on this is April 27th, 2023. And there's page 2, be the same. Well, actually, that's not page 2. The first one is a variance map, tax map, 412, lot 114. Same title. Oh, I'm sorry, I can read it now. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, so there is three sheets. Okay. Motion to accept the application.
Move to accept case 11, 2023.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussions on this?
No.
No? Okay, motion to accept case 11, 2023.
Aye.
Mark? Bobby?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Mike?
Aye.
Malcolm?
Aye.
Why is that? Okay, who would like to present this evening?
Good evening, my name is Jacques Belanger, surveyor that prepared the application for the Nelson family. And what they basically want to do is just build a house up onto that last piece of land up on Emerson Turnpike. It's a private road, privately maintained. We have talked to the planning board a little bit about it, we talked to the fire wards about it a bit, and decided to come here. Well, I didn't decide to come here, we were coming here, to seek a variance for that. The entire road is privately maintained. It's 1,700 feet from River Road to the beginning of the Nelson's property. About a 45-acre tract of land that doesn't have access on the other point, other than that one road.
A couple of concerns I have before we even start. One is, it's an extension of a non-compliant road, meaning the use would be an extension of the use. Whereas in the past, we would see that as not mature, meaning the rest of the road is mature from a standpoint, they have houses there, some before zoning, one that came before us, I believe, some years back for a variance to build on that. Since that time, the fire department has offered to the planning board a driveway specification that meets the National Fire Protection Association, I think it is, that's where it was derived from. That's part of our zoning. Even the last, by looking at it, the last, next to the lot, next to the last house and the last house on the current road, that doesn't even meet that specification right now. And on top of that, being premature, there's an issue with the slope. It exceeds the 10% called out by the, now. The planning board can grant a conditional use for that. But there's an issue here where the whole purpose of the road is life and safety access. That's the whole purpose of this article, and also of 674-41, which is the select board, who you have to go through even if you get past us and get their approval. So, before we even start, I do have some concerns with that. And, I mean,
I'm unfamiliar with the,
sorry?
I'm unfamiliar with the end
Well,
of that
it's-
road.
If I could describe the road, I'm not trying to attest to this, I'm trying to say my observation. It does start a significant rise for a period of time. And the actual roadbed, which I think has been years of erosion and grading and regrading, in some places as much as 3 feet between the stone walls, before you even get to a point of saying that you could even have a ditch, because you gotta build up beyond that. So,
Share your concern.
I know we'll give you an opportunity to present it, I just wanted to be upfront,
Sure.
so you know where. We do look at the condition of the road and we grant. We do put conditions on the road they must meet if they don't meet it. There's a couple of challenges you have. So, as I mentioned before, if we go forwards and we deny this, you can't come back unless substantially different. And I just ask you if you've exhausted all your opportunities before you come here.
I don't think we have any other opportunities
Well,
other than being here. We've got, I mean, there's no other access point to this lot. And we are steep from the end of, from the last house that's on lot 113 up to 114. We actually have a plan profile,
what?
a plan view of the road and a profile, vertical profile of
Do you
that
have
road.
it? We haven't got it.
You don't have it, because I didn't believe we needed it here, but I thought we-
Information here.
No, we do anticipate improvements made to the road, pull off widening, cleaning it up. It's, I'm sorry, I didn't really think the board would need it, I did bring it. This is coming from the last home on the road, up through. And here's our grades right now. We're at 12% for a short span, then we, come back down to 3.7, and we're 6, and we're 13, we're 10. So it can average out. It can, I think the road can be brought up to 10% that's required, or down to 10%, just by averaging out the cuts and fills. And we did a little bit talk to the planning, not the planning board, excuse me, fire wards. Briefly, we'd have to have some pull-offs for emergency passing and whatnot coming up the road. It's 1,700 feet from here to here, without much.
Where would you put the pull-offs? Because some of that road's very narrow.
It is pretty narrow.
Every 400 feet, you need to have a 20-foot wide for 50-foot long.
Nelson's own piece on the south side.
Well, that's why I kind of asked you if you exhausted all your options.
Well, we have the option to work to the right to improve the road if they need to, or where they need to.
Well, let's go forward with it.
I mean, one way or the other, there's gonna be some road improvements, to get through there.
Okay, number 1, please. Any other questions before we start?
No, no.
Go ahead.
Come on. Just loud enough?
It's
Yeah.
live.
Okay, all right. Please describe how substantial justice is done, because the benefits of the applicant must not be outweighed by harm to the general public. The granting of this variance request will allow the owners to fully enjoy the property and to benefit of having a single-family residence. The proposed residence will increase the value of the neighborhood. I'm sorry,
Yeah, where are we?
I'm sorry, I skipped down to the third, I'm out of sequence.
I'm not reading
Yeah.
the same thing.
I copied on both sides. All right, take 2. Okay, number 1, the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, because the proposed use must not conflict the purpose of the ordinance, and that it must not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, threaten public health, safety, or welfare, or otherwise injure public rights. The granting of these requested variances will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. Being permitted to construct a single-family residence on the vacant lot will be consistent with abutting homes and will fit in with the nature of other surrounding properties. I go on, read all 5, right?
If you want to elaborate, you can, but go on to 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and just the bold text, that's all you have to read.
Please describe how the spirit of the ordinance is observed. The spirit of the ordinance is being observed because the proposed use will not conflict with the general purpose of the ordinance. The subject parcel is the lot of record and will remain as one lot. No further development is proposed which will maintain the existing character of the neighborhood. Please describe how substantial justice is done. The granting of this variance request will allow the owners to fully enjoy their property and to benefit of having a single-family residence. The proposed residence will increase the value of the neighborhood. Number 4, please describe how the values of surrounding properties are not diminished. Granting of these variance requests will have little effect on the surrounding property values. It will actually be consistent with other abutting properties on Emerson Turnpike. The proposed single-family residence will be constructed that will not be intrusive or out of character with the surrounding homes. 5, the literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance will result in an unnecessary hardship. The property is an existing lot on a private road. The hardship is access only. All setbacks can be met, and the use is typical to surrounding properties.
You can do I.
Owing-
Next page.
Owing to special conditions identified above, please indicate how no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinances and the specific application of that provision to the property. The town of Weare has given building permits on private roads in the past. These variances are not an unusual request. And II, owing to the special conditions identified above, please indicate how the proposed use is a reasonable one. Explain how the special conditions of the property and the zoning restriction interferes with a reasonable use of the property. As mentioned in 5, this lot is lacking frontage on a Class 5 road. The lot meets the requirements for a standard lot. In the past, the town has granted building permits on private and Class 6 roads.
Okay. Any questions of the applicant?
Nope.
So you have no plan to upgrade the road?
We did not develop a plan to upgrade the road. We're looking for kind of a place to start. We did meet with the fire wards. I mean, the Nelsons are,
I just want to be very clear. It's a binary court. We're either going to approve it with conditions or disapprove it for a reason, or continue it for any reason. We go forward with the public input. We'll probably end up voting on this tonight. I just want to make sure you understand.
So what you're saying is if you disapprove it now, we're done?
You've got to come back with something substantially different. Or if you wish to appeal it, to come back for an appeal, or go to take it and challenge to Superior Court.
It's just like undue hardship for one home to make us
Okay,
rebuild that
we're
road.
not discussing this right now, I'm just talking to the person doing the presentation. Okay, we'll go forward. Okay, please have a seat.
oh, okay. I mean, I think in the long run, what we're looking for is maybe some direction as
We're
well.
not- This is a court.
Okay.
When's the last time you went to a court and asked the judge, what do you think? And he'll say, in contempt, out the door. You know, they don't do that. That's what we are here. No, I can't answer your question, I'm sorry, Dave. It's, you bring an application forwards, we're not the planning board. Planning board, you can sit and discuss and negotiate. We're here basically on the application, on the merits of the application. And I brought up some significant considerations you need to explain. You haven't. So we're gonna go for, unless you wanna withdraw the case, continue the case, whatever you wanna do with the case. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Dave.
I just wanted if we were to come back with a whole complete set of plans of showing pull-offs or something, would that give us another right to come back again? That's my question. Or if we get shot down tonight, can we regroup, make another set of plans of showing fire truck pull-offs, and then resubmit to you folks?
I just want to say, it needs to be substantially different from what you're asking for tonight. That's our decision in the future. I'm not going to condition, I'm not going to tell you. This is the way the law is set up. We're not making this up. This is what variances are. You come in, you state your case, it's either up or down with conditions or for cause, and that's it.
You're basically want upgrades from point A to point B to the top.
I'm not the applicant. I'm not here to tell you how to solve your problem. I'm just saying, most requests that come before us are mature subdivisions. You're asking to extend the road beyond its current use as a access to a dwelling.
Driveway.
Access to the dwelling. It's a road as well. So I'm just saying, I'm happy to go forwards with the case. I just want to make sure before we go, you're comfortable, or if you want to withdraw the application, or you want to do something, or I'm just going to go forwards, because I've spoken too much on this. This is not, we don't expect people to be professionals coming here. We shouldn't have to get a lawyer, but I just wanted to give it the benefit of thought. That's just happens to be my thought. Doesn't mean that the rest of the board shares it, I'm just saying. Would you like to discuss with your client for a minute? Sure. I'll be willing to give you 5 minutes.
That should be fine.
Okay.
We're gonna have to move next month's meeting.
I mean,
We're gonna have to move next month's meeting.
what happened to it?
It's July 4th.
What's on the fourth?
Oh,
Yeah.
don't we have it on the,
You always do it the next week anyway.
Yeah.
But it's Tuesday.
is it already
Yeah.
the 11th? I think the schedule is called at the 11th.
Yeah, we did.
We kick that and we kick Labor Day too, don't we, usually?
I won't be here on the 11th,
11th of what?
July.
Sorry, you don't know.
You already have one for a special, in-law apartment.
Is what?
You already have an application upstairs for an in-law apartment.
Okay.
Thank you for giving us a moment. Can we continue this for 2 months? To give us the opportunity to develop some, a little more direction, I guess.
Is that your request, 2 months?
Yeah, I don't think we'd have it to you in time to review for the next meeting. I mean, I'd love to say a month, but it takes, we have to squeeze in to do the work, and then we have to get it to you to review, or in a timely manner. I think
Okay.
2 months is reasonable for us.
Motion to extend.
Move to continue case 11/2023 for 2 months would be the August
And
meeting.
Do we have a
Second
date
that.
for that?
August 1st.
August 1st.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion? Being none? All in favor? Mark?
Aye.
Bye.
Jack? Aye. Mike?
Aye.
Malcolm?
Aye.
Okay, well, thank you. Now, could I ask a question?
No, you can't ask questions.
It's really not about the application.
No, look, we're not here to give friendly advice, okay? We try not to give legal advice.
It's not legal advice, we just wanna know what board we need to go see, because we bounced around. This is the third board we've already been to right now.
We're the board if you want to approve your application.
We've been to the planning board, they sent us from the planning board to the Board of Fire Wards. Board of Fire Wards sent us to see you. So, we just need some information, who do we go see about what you need for the road?
I just told you. Dave, this is the next board you come to. You will have to go through the select board after us, under RSA, that's the state law, 674-41, which says they're the only ones that can do the final approval on a road. You need a variance. If you want a building permit, you need a variance from the zoning, and you need the approval from the selectmen to use of the road. Those are the two things you need.
Because if I gotta improve the road, I might just subdivide the whole thing and throw up 40 houses, call it square.
You need to go to the planning board then.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the way I'm gonna go. If you guys won't let me build one, we might as well put 40 and put another 150 kids in school.
We haven't heard the case yet. You're coming back in 2 months, right?
Yeah, attempted to.
Naomi, do we have any other further business? We have minutes? Nope. Okay. With that,
Move to adjourn?
Second?
move to adjourn at, I'm calling it 8:24, sorry.